right, guys, welcome back. I want to get the bodywork finished up on this cabinet so we can get it outside and get it primered. I'm working on this cabinet and the two bumpers that need primer so that I can primer everything at the same time. Last night before I quit, I put a little bit more short strand fiberglass on that side because there was a couple spots I wasn't happy with, so I put a little bit more on. So I'm going to flip it onto that side. I'm going to sand those spots, and then we're going to put, we might just be able to use the glazing filler rather than Bondo because nothing is really big that I need to fill in. So we'll probably just use that, and then we'll get that side all sanded down. Then this side we'll do the body work on, and then at that point we're ready to get some primer on this thing. We have some chipping around the edges here. That's kind of a pain to fix, but I have to fix it. That happened because this panel was out of the cabinet, you know, getting all banged up and everything. It's not horrible, but I gotta obviously fix it. So, all right, let me get this thing put on its side here. I put the plate field outside today, this morning in the sun. So that is now curing more. You could see now that the clear has dried, how it kind of settled in to everything. And it's a little bit more ripply now because it's all sunk in, but it's pretty ripply. Can't really see it on camera, but trust me, it is. And you could feel every single one of these inserts really, really well right now. They're high, which means the clear coat has built up on here, but you could still feel with your finger a little bit of a ridge here around where the plastic meets the wood, and I want that all to be gone. I want this to be perfectly smooth because we're putting vinyl over it. We're not using a hard top. A hard top, this would be perfectly acceptable to put the hard top over top of it, but being that it's a piece of vinyl, we need to be a little bit more cautious about it. And I didn't realize I didn't fill these ones in, but they have filled in with clear. So I think once this is sanded down tomorrow and re-cleared, it should be pretty darn smooth. And if I have to do it a third time, I'll do it a third time. I don't really care. I just want it to turn out nice. And if it's a matter of a couple more days, does it really matter? No, it doesn't. It's not like this is a job that has to be done by a certain date. This is just for fun. So take your time, make it look good, but don't take too much time. Okay, one last thing I want to do to this before I primer it is put some leg levelers on it. So I'm gonna run up to the house, grab some leg levelers, and we got to drill a hole for the brake pedal or the gas pedal. There's a hole that I believe goes in the middle. Let me find a gas pedal. I got to bring out the other gas pedal assembly as well. I have another one in the house for the game that was missing one. Okay, these, I believe these holes right here I got to drill. Let's look at the other cabinet and see. Thought there was a couple of holes that, I could be wrong, it might be the pole position, but I think this cabinet has them too. Oh no, oh, back in there, there's 3 holes, so I'll wait to do that, and I'm gonna have to probably cut this piece of wood back, but we can do that afterwards. That I'm not too worried about. Maybe we can cut that. Yeah, since it's up this way, we'll cut that wood back and we'll put the leg levelers on it. Then we'll stand this thing up and get it in primer. I got my bumpers outside already sanded and ready for primer as well. All right, let's get the leg levelers on. So here's the other gas pedal assembly that I got from a guy, I believe from Canada. The pin's sliding out of the hinge, but that's no big deal. But the good thing is I don't have to take mine apart and or you know, have to keep going in the basement and look at it, because this one's correctly put together and all the parts are here. The other one, on the other hand, we need to make it match this one. If you guys remember, somebody used an old house hinge, literally from like the early 1900s, it looks like. One of these old sealed pins with the round balls on the end. So we're missing a wheel. There's a wheel here, which that assembly should be right here. So I'm missing the wheel, and I know they sell the wheel. So there's a wheel that goes on here. So we'll have to get that. So we'll order one of those. We'll have to take this hinge off. I'll find a hinge that matches this style at Home Depot or Lowe's, and we'll get all this crap off of here that's not supposed to be on here. We'll weld on the correct hinge to the bottom of the pedal, and then you can even see that part of the old hinge is still welded on the original pedal. They just did whatever they had to do to get it to work. And it's stiff, it doesn't want to move because the hinge is all rotted out. But like I said, we have all the components other than that wheel and a hinge, which I'll pick up, to be able to make this look identical to that one. So you will not be able to tell the difference between the two once they're done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely rebuild this one first. We'll do it on camera. We'll completely rebuild this one to look like this one before I tear this one apart. So we'll get this one torn down, rebuilt, put back together. Then I can take that one apart, and then I have another one to reference off of. Just trying to save myself some energy having to go in the basement 5 times and look at mine to be able to put it back together correctly. So we're using these, I've been buying these with the rubber on the bottom, leg levelers, and they come with these. You can buy them on Amazon, and then you just put 3 screws in there after you drill your hole in the middle. You can buy those big plates from Arcade Shop. They're about a 2-inch square plate, but the nuts always tend to break off of them. So I don't buy them anymore because they're junk. Good idea, but by the time you buy them, you gotta weld them and they're expensive. It's just not worth it. We keep getting birds in the dog pen, and these little birds keep getting in the dog pen, and the other day, one of the cats caught one of them. And of course, brought it in the house because that's what you do. So we had a bird in the house that we had to get. So from remembering the other cabinet, we gotta come in about 2 inches. The leg levelers on these are pretty far out to the outer edge, 1.5 inches this way. And the front goes 2 inches. 2 by how did I do that? 2 by 1.5. Did I do that right? Yes. Because this cabinet weighs a lot, you want to make sure they try to keep these out to the outer edges pretty far. Okay, drill these out. I'm going to use 2 different drill bits. You got to go up to a 1/2 inch hole. And what sucks is when you drill a 1/2 inch hole through plywood, it always splinters really bad on the backside. So I'm going to go half the thickness first. Oh boy. I was drilling something the other day and I can't remember what I was doing, but I'm drilling and the drill catches and it comes up and nails me right in the chin. I can't remember what I was doing. I don't know if I was at work or where I was, but yeah, it freaking got me good. Yeah, a hammer. I don't think I have a hammer over here. Looks like it's gonna freaking rain and I need a primer. I might have to eat lunch and wait a little bit to primer because it's looking like it's gonna rain. %, chance of rain today, so we know damn well that's gonna rain. This has been, for living in Ohio, this has been an extremely weird spring. A lot of rain, cold weather, a lot of storms. A lot of power going in and out. Definitely not the normal. Usually by now we have beautiful weather for the next couple months, but I don't know what's going on this year. Just a weird weather pattern that's going on. I'm gonna have to move some stuff because I think it's gonna rain. Not looking too good. Not looking good. So I'm gonna go move some stuff in case it does start raining. Then we'll get these leg levelers on and we're gonna cut back where the gas pedal goes. Walk over there and measure how far back I gotta cut that and how wide. Two 3/8 inches back from the metal. You'll never see this cut because the metal plate covers it, but still want it to be decent looking. everything is in such a disarray right now with the shop because I'm building, and that Porsche is in the spray booth painted. I have nowhere to put it right now. I'd be primering this stuff in the spray booth, but unfortunately I'm having to do it outside right now, like the old days. But I gotta do what I gotta do, you know? Gotta keep moving forward. I gotta keep working on everybody's projects. Somebody had mentioned saying that I'm not afraid to take on more projects with all the projects I have going on. Well, it's not necessarily like that. I kind of don't have a choice because I work for about 5-6 different people, and they have been giving me consistent work for the past 30 years of my life. So I can't say no, you know what I mean? Like when they want to bring something, I don't really have a choice but to do it, because if I say no, well then eventually they're going to find somebody else and then I'm going to lose work. So unfortunately I just got to deal with it and keep moving forward. That's all you can do. So let's stand this guy up. I hate it when they're laying on their, because they're kind of hard to grab a hold of and lift them up. All right, I'm going to use the dolly to move it. I don't want to move it around too much. So we are ready for primer. I'm going to have to move it in the shop. A freaking mist of rain's coming. Trying so hard to get this stuff done. Everything's fighting me. And unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes, you know? Just put it this way, guys, it could always be worse. You could have no work. You could have snow. I shouldn't say that because it'll probably snow. Blow this out. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to eat lunch because I got to wait for the weather to hopefully pass. It's supposed to. I brought the playfield in. It's been sitting out in the sun all day. Maybe now I can give you a better look. Okay, see all that? All that is the clear coat sunk into the wood. See? And that's what you want to happen. You want it to do that because then you sand it down really, really good and you put more clear over top. Well, the second time that you clear it, no longer does that clear soak into the wood. It sits on top of the clear. And that's what starts to give you a really nice smooth surface. So, all right, I'll be back and we'll get this primered and those bumpers, and then I can move on to the next project, which is going to be the dormers. As long as it doesn't rain today, I want to try to get as much done on these dormers up here. Haven't been able to work on them at all this week because of the stupid weather, but I'm fine if it stays like this as long as it doesn't rain. This is actually 60 something degrees. It feels good, especially when I'm on the roof, but unfortunately it's going to rain. So yeah, later on I'm going to get as much done on these as I can. I'm going to work on finishing up this soffit fronts, and then those two. I want to get all the soffits done, and then it's ready for windows and siding. I can't put the windows in until I put the wiring inside because I can't really crawl in the window right now because they're too small. So all right, I'm going to shut this garage door right here just to keep some rain out because I have the bumpers ready for primer, and I have bare body work and some bare metal showing and stuff, so I don't want any moisture to get on those. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, the rain has passed. Cabinet's outside, bumpers are outside. I have my primer mixed up. Let's go get these things primered, and then I'm going to end this video. Then I'm going to go work on the roof for the rest of the day, which I'm not really looking forward to. Not really in the mood to do it, but it's got to get done. So I don't really have a choice. But it is what it is. And then later on, we're going to pull apart the pole position cabinet. So that'll be another video tonight. And I'm working on a video in the basement putting the cue ball wizard back together. As far as the legs are painted, the side rails are painted, the coin doors painted. I have everything to put it back together except for I ordered some side art for the side blades of the cabinet on the inside, And I don't know when that's going to come here. It came from UK or something like that. But I can always stick that on at a later date. But I have new glass for it and everything, so I want to get that wrapped up and put back into where it's going to go. But we'll talk about that in that video. So I'm going to put a coat of primer on these first, and then we're going to do the cabinet and just keep bumping back and forth. It is in primer. My bumpers are primered. It actually looks really, really good, just like the other one. So that's the end of this video. And the next step is pole position. Tonight, we'll get that torn down. Tomorrow, we can start doing body work on that. Once this thing is body worked and then primer, onto the Frogger cabinet. And then start all over again, back on this cabinet. Sand it down, reprimer it, and then once everything's been sanded and reprimered a second time, then they're ready to be sanded and painted. So I'm trying to get them knocked out in the next couple weeks here. Shouldn't have an issue doing that. I'd love to get them painted by the end of next week, if possible. You know, I'm not going to rush it. I want it to look good, but if possible, I'd like to have them all painted by the end of next weekend, because then after that, we are ready for assembly and graphics and all that stuff. Still haven't ordered the artwork. I'm waiting until I have them painted, because I don't need them laying around here for weeks rolled up in tubes. There's no point. So once I get them all painted, I'll get everything ordered and we'll get these things together. So stay tuned tonight for a pole position video, and thanks for watching. Please hit the thumbs up. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and I'll see you guys later.